y'all, how you doing? This is Heart to Heart Readings, doing a new moon reading. I feel like I should have done it like 2 days ago, but it's okay. I'm here now. Alright, so there's a lot of cards that jumped out for this reading, for this new moon reading, but I think it's going to help us to release, or rather to shed off old stuff, maybe old traumas, for us to feel reborn again. So, with that being said, let's get started. The first card, number 18, Truth. This is something that I think is painful for us to experience for this reading. And like I said, once we talk about the truth, then we can start to feel better, right? So can you see in the center of this flower, it's like a bright green color, right? And then the outside of it is brown. So the brown part is what we're shedding off, the old dead skin, so to speak, like we're exfoliating. And the green part is our center. It's our true spiritual self that needs to be reborn. Is not the right word, but it's more like we need to be reminded of who we are again. And to do that, we have to let go of the clouding of toxicity and judgment that's around us. And when I look at the outside, there's those yellow flowers and there's like these thorn-like things on the green part, but specifically on the yellow side, they look like thorns to me. They look like if you were to touch them, they would hurt. Now, this is the people surrounding your center. This could be parents. This could be, any caregiver, maybe even a toxic social circle like your friends. Yeah, these people, they make you feel like crap, okay? They make you look at yourself and wonder what's wrong with you. But that is the gaslighting that they are doing. So these thorns, these toxic people, they act like they care about you, first of all. They act like they know everything about you. They act like they know what's best for you, but they're really trying to manipulate you by their words. They seem really concerned on the outside, but on the inside, they have another motive. And gaslighting is a really important thing that's coming up, actually. It's not so much on the political level, like I'm sure that happens all the time, but this is more so the people that closely surround you. Now, with this gaslighting, they pretend to know what's wrong with you, which is the weird thing, because I'm not sure what that means yet. They pretend to know exactly what's wrong with you, and the method that they're using is so that you could listen to them, right? So that the ball is in their court, and you are always going to be subject to their power, their words, their authority. And those very words that they use towards you to manipulate and gaslight you, they feel like thorns. Like they make you feel hurt. They make you feel like you're wrong, like there's something wrong with you. They're kind of like somebody that ensnares you into their energies. What they do is they manipulate you, they trick you so that they can always have you in their hands. Like what I see is like very much like a puppeteer, right? And you are the marionette. Once they act like they're concerned about you, they start to do things behind the scenes to continuously get your attention. It's almost like social media, like when you're on Instagram and you're scrolling down, you see those ads and they get your attention, but they do it in like a sneaky way where you can't stop watching. So that's kind of what they're doing. Well, that's very much what they're doing. Only their motive is to ensnare you, not to buy something, but to ensnare you so that you'll always be under their wing. It's so disgusting. Like they're there, like I'm here for you, like shh, don't worry, I've got you. But then they're really eating you alive, which is so gross, right? It's insidious. And now the interesting aspect with the Truth card and Divine Guidance is that they're really polar opposites. Like here's the Divine Guidance card, which is about God. That's what the deck calls this card. It's the God card. And I think what is so painful is that, when we are born with our parents, I think this is very much a parental thing. When we are born with our parents or our caregivers, or anybody else that could project the relationship of a caregiver, and what I mean by that is however you relate to somebody is how you relate to your parents. So if you're constantly seeking attention, you're really seeking the love that your parents never gave you in the way that you wanted it, right? So with this divine guidance card, it's like God always beckons you to remind yourself of who you really are, which is purity, which is greatness, which is somebody that is so wonderful, so smart, so kind, and so beautiful. But you don't trust him. Why? Because your parents or your caregivers use the same technique against you to ensnare you, to manipulate you, to gaslight you, to make you feel like you are nothing without them. And this is where the line gets really blurry. That fine line where you want to trust somebody that loves you, but you can't because you feel like you've been so damaged. Speaking for myself, it's painful to come into awareness of that, because your sense of trusting people that could actually love you is tainted. It's been manipulated. It's been distorted. It's been damaged, right? And when I see personally when I see the collective aura of this traumatic experience, for people that have suffered this, and I'm sure a lot of fucking people have, okay? It's really weird because our aura as victims, we start to do to others what has been done to us. So our way of relating to people, our way of connecting to people, our way of trying to develop a relationship is in the same method that we were taught. So what I see is vines extending from our cosmic aura towards other people because we don't know how to relate to others. It's kind of like this psychological term. I think it was like insecure attachment or insecure/avoidant. I don't remember. But the point of what I'm trying to make is that it's either we're too close to people or we're too far. Or when we try to develop a relationship with someone, we develop it in a way where we put them so far away from us and yet we try to control them, right? It's just like a really uncomfortable push and pull type of relationship that's coming from our ego, what feels like our character. It just feels like this vessel that's in us, like this it's its own being that reacts to any relationship that could be intimate, and it doesn't have to be sexual, right? And so going back to the truth card, because I'm feeling this energy in the truth card, this same power that we were taught and that we were born into and how we relate to other people, right? That power that we use to ensnare other people, to trap them so that they could be in a relationship with us because we think that we don't deserve it, right? That's why we think we have to go through the back end, that manipulative way to do that. It is actually a power in which we can use for our own good. And this is where we go into the butterfly cards. So, okay, they're saying that this vine, the angels are saying that this vine that extends from your cosmic auric field towards other people, where you manipulate and you push people away, it is still coming from who you are. It is still coming from the direct source of God, which is you, right? Because he is within you. What the new moon is bringing about, you see that adult children card? The new moon is bringing about the part of us that was abused and raised in an abusive environment as a child. And we're starting to be able to dissect and discern, okay, where are my triggers coming from? Is it coming from me personally as an adult? Or is it coming from the child that is really hurt? And once we look into that child that has been manipulated and confused and controlled for somebody's own insidious benefit, we start to have compassion for that child, which is ourself. That compassion is exactly what is going to lead us to spiritual growth. It's interesting because I've been feeling like crap lately because of the new moon. I've been feeling like moody, irritable, and really sad. And I'm like, where is this fucking coming from? But now I get it, right? It's the new moon is helping us to poke at what we need to look at, poke at the old skin so that we can shed it and come to rediscover who we really are. And so once we start to have compassion and awareness for the part of us that was hurt, we can separate that old part of us that controls our mind and the way that we think to act in a way that is not beneficial to us and others, we can separate that part and realize that that's not who we are. It's very much like a caterpillar that's turning into a butterfly, right? When that butterfly is in a cocoon, they're shedding off that old skin. They're like, ew, get it off, ew, sticky. And then it becomes this beautiful, colorful butterfly that flies in the sky so effortlessly, so weightlessly. It doesn't matter if it's in control or not, right? Have you seen a butterfly in the way that it flies? I'm sure you have, we're all human. It just glides. It just goes with the breeze, and it goes with the flow with where nature takes it. And that is the opposite of needing to control and needing to manipulate. It is a very vulnerable experience, that reawakening of our vulnerable side and feeling what it feels like to be so open and pure and free. And so I feel like, with this reading, I feel like I've kind of like opened you guys up to this awareness that doesn't feel very comfortable for you. So let me close that up so you're not walking like half of a shell. I want you guys to know that you guys are in a direct path to enlightenment, which is back to yourself and back to who you truly are. And knowing that you are on a firm path back to yourself, I think that's going to help you to feel like you can trust your path, right? That you can let go and that you don't have to do everything yourself, because there's this cosmic flow, this cosmic nature that brings you to where you need to go, much like that butterfly. And guess what? That path to yourself is the path that God always wants us to go. Because we are living in a world that is created by God. Every fiber, every molecule, everything that you see is God. That is God. And so you are God. And because we're in a universe of God, do you think that he doesn't know what he's doing, right? Like, he will always be leading us back to ourselves. And rest in that faith, right? Rest in the palm of his hands, in which it is his hands that created us and what's around us. So with that being said, I hope that this brings some clarity onto the new moon and these, turbulent emotions and experiences, okay? And I hope that you feel a little bit more lighter and stable. So with that being said, I want you guys to just relax after this reading, because it was a lot to process. I would definitely recommend essential oils, and not too much, just a drop of something that feels like it relaxes you, and put it on the soles of your feet and wherever you think that it needs to be. I would say that the joints, actually, because the joints is what supports our body's frame and our figure. So when you put it there, I think that you will just start to feel a little bit more solid in your physical being, because it's a weird, high energetic, turbulent, almost chaotic time right now. And if you would like to book a service with me, go onto my website, www.hearttoheartreadings.com, okay? I'll leave it there. Have a good day.